HollyShorts Film Festival. I'm here. Bree's here this time. Aren't you all lucky to be catching the rare glimpse of Brianna
Yes.
Wing? Thank you for
It's
joining
rare.
me, Bree.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hi, everybody. And in this episode, we have Logan Vaughn to talk about her film Benny and
everyone.
James. Thank you for
Hi.
coming, Logan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're so
It's really
excited.
great.
Now, I know we have about 10 minutes to talk to you, but we'd love to hear a little bit about your film. Can you tell us what it's about?
Absolutely. So it is. It centers on two men who happen to be married, and it's the eve of a long-awaited arrival for them. And one 2 nights before has had a dream, a recurring dream, that he. And it was quite traumatic, and he believes that it's a signal, and for him, I think a very powerful signal from God that maybe they should wait. While
For their long-awaited arrival.
yes,
They should wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
and while his partner Benny has had an adjacent incident that both actually take place with a deer, and he believes that it's just happenstance and it's not a signal.
Okay.
While James believes that it's not possible that they both could have had these encounters before this imminent arrival, and that they should just take a breath and wait. But it's and I just say that just so that our listeners, our viewers, don't have the full story just
Nothing
yet.
is
but-
spoiled.
Yes,
spoil
we don't want
it.
to spoil
Chock
it.
full of intrigue.
This
No.
is, I was about to say, yes,
Yeah.
I'm actually incredibly intrigued.
Yes,
at this
and
point.
I just want to, in case it wasn't mentioned earlier, Logan was the writer and director
Yes.
of this film.
Yes.
And you mentioned there was an encounter with a deer.
Yes.
Did you use a live
That
deer?
was my next question.
In my first draft, I did.
Okay.
In the final rendering of the film, we did not use a
Okay.
deer. Yeah.
Okay.
And for one of them, it's a dream. It's a recurring dream he's had, which is actually a recurring dream I had about 2 years before writing it. And the dream that James has had in the film is the furthest escalation and the most traumatic escalation of the dream that I had. And it was really terrifying. And then for Benny, the encounter with the deer was on the road in, real life, real time. So in the end, I didn't feel it necessary to have the
Right.
live deer.
Right. You
Yeah.
can do so much when you don't show those
That's right.
things. You can,
And apparently you can't also, there are no wranglers for bucks either. It's not just a deer, it's a buck, which is
I
huge
can, yeah, that's
body.
Yeah,
safety
yes.
thing.
Yeah.
You're
Can you imagine
dealing with those
Actually,
horns.
if it went wild or something? No, it just was.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I love
Not
interviewing
possible.
writer-directors because I'm wondering, when you were in the writing process, did anything have to shift or change when you start prepping to get ready to go on set? I mean, the deer is one, but did you notice any other things that had to change technically, or maybe you had a specific shot in mind? I do want to talk about, some shots in the film that maybe are of note. And, did you talk about kind of what changed from the draft on in the screenplay to what happened on set?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one thing, I'm not sure if you know that we shot it as a oneer. So
Yep, that's the one of note.
yeah,
Wink.
which was tremendous. And I come from the theater. That is my primary background, and I've been directing for the stage for 18 years, and my actors as well. And so it felt just inherently very natural to us. But that is not how I originally, that was not
Oh.
my original realization of it.
Okay.
We were planning to shoot in 2020. For obvious reasons, we all know what
Yep.
happened.
What happened?
And then wild experience, but I lost my home to a fire in 2021, my apartment
So
in New York.
Sorry. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was very traumatic, and it really just it changed the way that I approached my work with a different sense of gentleness and tenderness. I think I've always been quite gentle and tender, but it's about the patience of it. The patience when making it, the patience when just sort of allowing yourself to figure out what it wants to be. And because of the pandemic, because of the shift of life, we then suddenly had 2 years that my DP and I could take our time and just breathe and figure out what it wanted to be as opposed to what I decided it should be.
Right.
And in that, I literally had a dream, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. and sent him a text, and I was like, I think it's a Oner. And he sent me a message back maybe at like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It was like, I'm terrified. But yes, let's do it.
And
Yeah.
you don't mean the entire thing was a Oner.
I do.
It was?
So
Yeah.
the entire film.
14 minutes and
Please
51
talk us
seconds.
through
That's
this.
remarkable.
We have 3 minutes. Please talk us through
Yeah.
this.
And also, it was not originally black and white.
Okay.
That was another sort of nuance that
All right.
came in that stretch of 2 years. Yeah, the art of the Oner. It is an art form, and you do like you know, there's one particular director that I love, and he's done a feature, you know, as a Oner, and he also directs in theater. So again, it feels very natural because, you know, in theater, when the curtain sort of peels back or goes up, so to speak, that's it. Everything's moving.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's very natural. It's very natural to me. It was very natural to my actors. And what we did is I had an incredible first AD named Paul, and he and I worked together to create these blocks, of course, along with my cinematographer. So we have a total of 3 stitches.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So
in a 14-minute long film.
yeah. So that did allow us to have, you know, these chunks, these beautiful chunks that my actors were able to just emotionally move through without stopping. And again, that is the beautiful part about theater, is that, and also the challenge of it too. You can't sort of say, oh, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. Can we stop and go back? You know, you don't do that on stage.
Yeah, you
Now,
have to get to
did
the end.
You have to
of
see it through. Yeah.
Cinematographer have to rehearse with the actors through those giant chunks too, or was the cinematographer pretty nimble and could go with the flow if things changed, or
Right.
what was that
That's a
rehearsal
great
process
question.
like?
So for about 8 hours total, four blocks of 2 hours, Robert, my DP, Robert Arnold, and I, we created I call it the choreography
Yes.
Yeah,
of the
perfect.
camera.
No, that's what
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. We watched a ton of things, sent each other a ton of things, and then we blocked it out, right? So he had to learn it by memory, of course, and then we, of course, had to do the same thing with our crane operator and our focus puller. And then with my actors, we rehearse as we do in theater. We did 4 days of 8-hour rehearsals. 5th day we blocked. I taught them everything, where the camera would be. And little tiny things we adjusted, but very little changed. And then they had the day off on the 7th day, actually on the 6th day. And then on the 7th day, we did a tech, 8 hours with our crew, my DP and my actors, and the car, which we actually use a Mini Cooper, not the convertible we use. And then we shot it on the 8th day.
What a
It was a
beautiful
one
collaboration.
Yeah.
One day
That's
Oner.
incredible.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a very different way of shooting a film.
Yeah.
But also a very holistic way of shooting a film
Yeah.
to make sure everybody's on the same page. So
Totally.
that when the time comes,
Yeah.
it's easy.
It's a
And I-
testament to all the prep that goes into the moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because there wasn't any time. There was no time to not know.
Right.
But of course, things come up. You know, our final shot, we thought we could crane back, just like a deeper crane up and over and back. And we didn't have the stretch. So on the fly, I had to make an adjustment. But other than that, we all had to have a synergy and a connectedness. And it was quite like beautiful and spiritual. And my crew was the freaking best, and they loved the experience. And it's so different than, you know, most crews are working on TV and things like that. And so it just, I think everyone's true skill and talent as an artist came to the surface and had to be summoned, and we had to work together as artists, not you do this, you do this. And it's just also not the way that we work in theater either. So I felt like I was just surrounded by great artists, and we were making the most beautiful canvas.
I love that.
Gorgeous
Yeah.
spirit
I have
of
another question.
collaboration.
When you yelled cut, did you notice your first notes were for the actors or for camera or technical?
That's
creative?
a great question. Not often for my actors. I will say we had so much rehearsal
Yeah.
that they knew it, and they trusted each other, and they trusted me and our crew. They had a lot of synergy, the two of them. So little things here and there, right?
Yeah.
And then also my crew, again, my crane operator, Jeffrey, Josh, my focus puller, they knew the script, they studied, they were so on top of it. My first AD as well. So there were tiny things like I want us to pull focus, like we should rack focus sooner, or actually we should not rack focus, you know, or stay with James longer, then pull to Benny. You know, little things like that, which you're kind of learning on the fly.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, that's the thing. That's the thing.
And you feel it in the moment.
That's right. Like you feel, I just got tingly.
Yeah.
You like feel it, you
Yeah.
know? That's what happened. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank
Logan.
you
I'm
so
sad we have
much.
to wrap it
And
up,
if you
but-
did miss it, you can watch it on BitPix,
Yep.
the streaming platform for HollyShorts.
You don't even
That's
have to
great.
be here, and you don't have to rewind time. You can go right to BitPix.
Oh my God, that's so
See
exciting.
Benny and
Yeah.
James.
Please see Benny and James. It's so thrilling to be with you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Oh my
coming.
God,
Thanks,
thank you
everybody.
so
Thanks,
much.
everyone. See you in a little bit.
Bye.
This has been another episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. Follow us on wherever you listen to your podcast to keep up to date on new episode releases. We will be live through August 20th here at HollyShorts Film Fest. If you're here, drop in and say a little hello at the VIP lounge. We also want to thank our sponsors, Apogee, Film Tools, Roscoe, Lightstone Rentals, Canon, and First Mile Tech. As a special gift to you listeners, we've partnered with We Make Movies to get you a discount on comprehensive production insurance packages. Use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote by visiting wemakemovies.org/insurance.
If you missed any of our live streams, you can watch all of our interviews on our YouTube channel, Cinematography for Actors. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Cinematography for Actors. You can also catch us in a more formal setting on Monday, August 14th at Japan House for a panel discussion on the importance of bridging the gap between talent and crew. You can get 20% off of your ticket purchase by using the code HSFF2023CFA at checkout.
Thanks!